We live in a land of the free, not a land of the illegal. Ever since the tragedy of 9/11, our government has been more strict on national security. But a nation without borders can never really be secure. How safe are we, really? If anyone can come into our country, how do we monitor the bad guys from the good guys? According to federal government figures, 12 million illegal immigrants are living in the United States, and about 75% of these illegal aliens came here from Mexico. In order to eliminate drug trafficking, illegal immigration, overcrowded prisons, and tighten up our national security, the United States must secure a border between here and Mexico. In this photo, these are illegal immigrants crossing the border between Mexico and America. And it's become a huge problem. Nearly 4 million undocumented illegal immigrants enter the United States every year undetected. 4 million people a year. This is a huge issue at hand, and the government needs to be more concerned about the safety of its own people. You would think after all the terrorist activity lately that the United States would care a bit more about the illegal immigration issue. It's becoming a huge concern to a lot of people here in the United States, and it should also concern you. You would assume most of the people crossing the Mexican border are Hispanic, but this isn't entirely true. It's been documented that illegal Muslim immigrants, who also pose as terrorists, have actually gone to Mexico and snuck into our country from that way. Which is pretty easy, because you can see in this photo that this is where a part of the fence has been broken off, and this is an American soldier trying to guard the border, but clearly it hasn't worked that well. And it affects all of us living here in the United States, as these unwanted foreigners want to deliberately cause harm to Americans. Not everybody, but a lot of the Muslim people that are crossing over into the border. The Washington Post posted an article recently saying that the number of immigrants that were caught and detained actually tripled since 2011. This means that our efforts to stop these immigrants is somewhat working, but that it also means that a large number of these illegal aliens trying to cross the border are Muslim terrorists, with only one thing on their minds: terrorism. It is too easy for people in Mexico to cross over into the United States, and this poses a huge risk to national security. We must stop this from happening, for the sake of our own people. We must build a physical barrier to help stop illegal immigration. Terrorism isn't the only thing that we have to worry about. There are other issues linked to illegal immigration that also poses threats to the United States. Drug trafficking and illegal immigration are strongly connected because most of the illegal drugs that enter the United States are originally from outside of the country. The drug cartel is also a huge problem without a secured border. American officials have stated that last year alone they seized $80 billion worth of illegal drugs. And CNN recently published an article saying that last year, nearly 90% of cocaine found in the United States was illegally transported from Mexico, most likely because of the lack of the American Border Patrol. Mexico is also the #1 supplier of marijuana and meth, according to the same article. Sure, it's near impossible to rid the country of all drugs, but a more secure border can certainly help in the transfer of drugs from Mexico to the United States. We must pay attention to how the illegal immigration affects us, our families, our children, our nation as a whole. Think of all the things that would be different if there were less drugs in the United States. There would be less murder, less crime, less dropout rates, less homeless people, less addicts, less death. We would have an all-around better country. None of this is possible, though, without a secure border, a physical barrier, and more American troops holding down our border and making this a safer country for us all.